Hello friends and welcome. I have another haul for y'all. Again from the Big Commission palette, and it's going to be all paperbacks. First one I'm going to show you is the one I'm most excited about and the one I was most tempted to keep out of this bag, and that is The Patchwork Girl by Larry Niven. Mostly because this is a fully illustrated trade paperback. And by fully illustrated, I mean like there are just pages after page of beautiful artwork that coincide directly with the story. I mean, it's all in black and white, but it's still gorgeous. It does have a little bit of a chip here in the back cover, but very cool. Isaac Asimov's Treasury of Humor. So Isaac Asimov, as I have found, if you are a popular author in one genre, your publisher is more likely to let you try other things. And considering Isaac Asimov published both fiction and nonfiction, why not make a joke book? Except these jokes are very adult and also very much a product of their time. So expect, you know, white middle-aged male humor from the 50s and 60s in this book. More modern fiction. This is Cold Magic, When Science and Magic Collide by Kate Elliott. This is a nice Orbit trade paperback. Again, some of these books are from the Commission palette, and some of these books, like this one and the Isaac Asimov book, are books that I have thrown in to offset books that I've kept from this palette. Same thing with this. This is Michael Moorcock, Stormbringer. So this has 7 Michael Moorcock stories in it. I had originally kept this, but I'm actually keeping a hardcover set of the Elric stories and replacing it with this. So Robert Heinlein, The Puppet Masters. Beautiful vintage copy without a barcode. Of course, green is my favorite color, so I find that gorgeous. Very vintage copy of Shield by Paul Anderson. This trippy watercolor. I'm guessing this is late 50s, early 60s. 1963. Hooray me. Instant Flannery by Paul Anderson. This is the first book of the Flannery series. Another book without a barcode there. Very cool cover. This is The Iron Man by Robert E. Howard. 1976 copy. Rings of Ice by Piers Anthony. 3 men and 3 women battle a global flood that spells the end of civilization. Interesting Avon book here. Have an Edgar Rice Burroughs, I Am a Barbarian, with quite the Boris Vallejo cover here. Beautiful Vallejo cover. Quintessential 1984 George Orwell copy. It is part of my science fiction mark of shame that I've still not read that book. Mad Maudlin by Rosemary Edgehill and Mercedes Lackey. Really nice mass market copy here. We have a Questar book, Neil Smith, Contact and Commune. Robert Sheckley, The Status Civilization, with an absolutely amazing cover by Dell here. You have to look at the bottom to get all of the detail there. Really gorgeous. Also has the pretty blue text block, and also from James Sikorsky. That seaman had quite the SF collection. Dell paperback from 1968. Star Science Fiction number 6. So this is a short story collection edited by Frederick Pohl. It has Borges, Cottrell, DeFord, Dixon, Koch, McGuire, Purdom, and Cordwainer Smith. Really pretty book. A.E. Van Vogt, The House That Stood Still. I love this one that's repeated on the back. Really nice, you know, vintage 60s cover here. If you're interested in A.E. Van Vogt, I also have a bunch of other A.E. Van Vogt that are going to also be up for sale as well, because they didn't sell in previous auctions. That's because all the books that I'm showing you in this video are going to be for sale over on Whatnot. It'll be on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. There's going to be over 115 books, so I normally add 30 to 40 new books every week, and then whatever doesn't sell for the previous weeks just keeps rolling into it. So if you watched any of the older videos and were like, oh, I really wanted that book, you might still be able to get it. There'll be a link and a pinned comment down below. That's a direct link to the show. And then if you are new to Whatnot, there will be a link in the description. You can click that and sign up for Whatnot. You'll get $15 to spend on books. Counts towards the book, does not count towards shipping, but most of the books are priced under $5, so there you go. The Hammer of Darkness by Ellie Modesett Jr. Courtesy with some Eileen fluff here for you. A Merit the Moonpool Amphibian Man. I don't know, it looks like a frog, but also looks like a lizard. So we're gonna go with the Amphibian Man. Shadows in the Sun by Chad Oliver. Another kind of haunting cover there. We have some gore books. So this is Vagabonds of Gore and Beasts of Gore. So I have the 12th book and the 24th book here. The Fallible Fiend by Spraggy-Camp. Starflight to Farul by Patrick Dearnan. Another copy of A Wizard in Bedlam by Christopher Stasheaf. Again, I talk about Christopher Stasheaf quite often because I do have Stegeman tattooed on my arm. An author that was quintessential to forming literally all of my reading habits for the majority of my life. The Parallel Man by Richard Purtrell. Really cool vintage cover. This is Invaders from Rigel by Fletcher Pratt. 1964 Airmont copy here. Don't find Airmont copies very often. Pebble in the Sky by Isaac Asimov in the very pretty haunting cover. I like this cover. I am also putting up this Ace Double up for sale. This is from my own collection. Again, to offset some other stuff I'm keeping. This is The Crossroads of Time by Andrea Norton and Mankind on the Run by Gordon R. Dixon. Again, coming from my own collection because when you guys see how many books I kept, you'll understand why I keep putting up so many books to offset. I'm trying to make it at least one-on-one as far as like compensating for the books that I've kept. The next few books I'm going to show you, again, are books that I'm adding to this sale to offset books that I've kept. So this is The War of the Flowers by Todd Williams. Another author that does not know how to write a short book. Star Trek The Next Generation, The Captain's Table. This is book 2 of 6. Jean-Luc Picard looking so handsome. We have Star Wars Republic Commando by 000 by Karen Travis. Magic Kingdom for sale. Sold by Terry Brooks. This is the first book in the series. The Source of Magic by Piers Anthony. One of the Xanath books. I'm not sure if this is the second or third Xanath book. A 1969 copy of The Origin of the Species by Charles Darwin. You know, this is technically nonfiction, but it is science. And it is a 1969 Coilier edition of a classic work. We have 2 Dennis McKiernan books, so Voyage of the Fox Rider and The Eye of the Hunter. This is The Warded Man by Peter Brett. And this paperback is not only in very good condition, it is also signed. So signed by the author. The Warded Man by Peter Brett. That's more of a modern fiction. And also The Double Helix. This is also just science, this is nonfiction. It is science, but I thought it would be interesting to read, or an interesting offer to add up with all of the rest of this because, you know, it is vintage science to go with your vintage science fiction. And then the next few books are books that are actually from the palette. So this is 2 Marsh Mysteries. So Dyed in the Wool and Singing in the Shrouds. I love this cover. The metronome, but like with a skeleton. Very cool. And then another A.E. Van Vogt, Rogue Ship. Don't worry, I'll take the 25 cent marker off there. And then Skylark 3 by Edward Smith, or otherwise known as E. Doc Smith. And this one is another pyramid. 1963 vintage pyramid. I am going to leave the 15-cent mark on here though, because that's done by actually like a secondhand bookstore stamp, probably from around the same time period. So I'm leaving that on there because that's more ephemera and less just somebody putting a price on the book for a yard sale. But again, everything I just showed you will be available for sale. Most of it is already listed by the time this video goes out. And again, there are already like over 150 books listed. So, but yeah, as I said, everything is looking for a new home. So hopefully it will find it with you in your collection. If not, I just appreciate you guys watching these videos. Part of the reason why I love doing these hauls and doing these shows is, one, it is a way for me to pay my bills. But two, I also just learned so much about books and authors every time I do this. So thank you guys so much for sharing your knowledge with me as well. And I will hopefully see you in the next video. Until then, bye! Bye.